Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson you are going to create the home page, which will be the first one, the Nike home page. So I'm going to duplicate this, press on the Alt and bring a copy over here. Like others, you are going to create something similar to this one. First thing, I'm going to create these elements, these cards, this one, and also the one that are below them, which are this one. So I'm going to start with this one. I will make a copy and move it over here. And we are going to create something exactly the same as this one. So to do that, I'm going to bring the background color, which is this Gaussian circle. You can find it in this file. It should be available for you. I will make a copy, move it over here. And now I will go to the rectangle tool and I will create a rectangle similar to the size of the sample. And then I'll just move this up a bit. We are going to round the corners, disable the borders, enable the background blur. Now let's increase the opacity and move this behind it to see it better, just like this. I'll make it smaller, move it over here. Let's make it bigger. Just like this. To be able to select the color behind it, you are going to press on the Command or Control and click until you are able to select. It's still a bit hard to duplicate it. I will select it, Control C, then Control V. I will duplicate it like this. Then we'll make it smaller. And I will make another copy out of it, move it to the right side. Then you are going to move them behind the background. Now select the background, go to the background blur, and we are going to adjust these settings. Copy the settings that I go with. Now I will press on the command to be able to select this one, and I'm going to make it bigger, just like this. And this one as well. Press on the command or control on the Windows and make it bigger. Move it over here. I will select this again and rotate it, just like this. Now it's nicer. Okay, now we have created the background. We are going to bring one of the shoes, which will be this one. I will just copy it from here. Control C and click on anything here and Control V. So now we are pasted here in this area. Now move it over the background. We are going to adjust the size and also the rotation. Okay, now let's go to the text tool. I'm going to write Nike. We are going to align it to the left, and also I'm going to change from regular to the medium. We are using the Robic font. I'm just trying to see which one will work. I will make the size 10, and I will make it medium again actually. And we are going to move it to the right place. Okay, I'm going to disable the 3D for this text and move it over here. Then go to the line tool. We are going to create our line over here. Then we are going to make it round, like the end will be round. And you'll make it white. Let's get closer and make it shorter. Select the text. We are going to change the text color as well to white. But now let's just position it in the right place. And now we are going to change the color for the text to white. Next thing I'm going to do is to duplicate this text, and we are going to write the name for the show. I'll press on the Alt or Option and make a copy. Copy this text, paste it over here. Then we are going to change the size. We will make it bigger like this. Okay. I'll make it a bit smaller. Then we will adjust it with the other text. And then we are going to make another copy out of this. So press on the Alt and make another copy. We are going to write the price over here. We have $sign and write any number of money. It will be something like this. And then I'm going to change it to maybe regular. Yes. And then you're going to adjust it. Make it a bit bigger. Okay, now we are going to make this arrow. I'll go to the plugins, icon 4, we are going to use this one, icon 4 design, right arrow, and choose any arrow that you want. We are going to choose, where is that? This one. As you can see, it has been added to somewhere far away from where you want it to be. To avoid this, you can just select the artboard that you want to add, or the object that you want to add, and then when you're adding the logo or the icon, it will be added to that place. Now I'm going to make this one smaller, and then the tail will be longer, like this. And then we are going to make the size of the border. We will make it smaller, make it 2, make the tail a bit shorter, change the color to white. So right now we have something like this. Okay, now I want to adjust the background. I will first decrease the roundness a bit, and then I will select the circle behind it, press on the Command or Control to be able to select it, and then I'm going to make it a bit bigger, just like this. From here as well, I will make it a bit bigger. Keep it like this. Now select this one, press on the Command or Control and select it. We are going to make it bigger. And then I'm going to rotate it a bit like this. Okay, I will move it to the right a bit. Okay, and then select this one. And you are going to rotate it as well to something like this and make it a bit bigger. Okay, now the last thing we are going to do is to decrease the size of the roundness. Click on it and change it from here, make it 11, and then you are going to enable the border, change the color to white, and then the size will be 0.5 or 0.2 maybe. Yeah, 0.2 is good. Now I will adjust the size and the position of the shoe. Something like this will be good. And then you are going to select everything and group them together. Obviously we cannot select everything like this because we have the sample very close. I'm going to move the sample a bit away and now select everything, right click and group them together. And just like this, we've created our first card for our artboard. I'll remove this one, move this over here. Then we are going to create our other card, the smaller one. I'm going to make a copy out of it. One of these, I will select this one, press on the Alt and make a copy. And then I'm going to create something similar to this one. So first thing I'm going to do, to go to the rectangle tool, we are going to make a rectangle just like this. And then round the corners. Then make the border size 0.5. And then enable the background blur, just like this. Now I'm going to add other stuff. I'll go to the plugins, icon for design, and I'm going to add the heart. Search for the heart and add it like this. Let's move this inside. We will make it smaller and then bring down the size for the border. Make it 1. And then actually let's make it 2. Or maybe 1.5. 1.5 will be good. Then change the color to this color. Next thing, we are going to go to the text tool. We are going to write new over here. Let's write it new all in capital. And then we are going to rotate it. Rotate it from this point. Then we will make it smaller. Something like this. And fit it to this area. And then make the size medium. Now let's just adjust the position of this one. I'm going to bring one of the shoes over here. It's this one, Control C. Then we are going to click on this background and Control V. Now let's make it smaller and adjust its position. We need to make it much smaller. Okay, we are good like this. The next thing we are going to do is to make the other text. I will use the text tool. And I'm going to write it over here. Equate support ADV. And then you are going to move it over here. We are using these settings. Now we are going to do the price. It's very easy. I'll just duplicate it and write the price. And then we are going to move it to the middle and change it from medium to light or regular. Regular is good. I think the size is a bit wide. I'm going to make it thinner like this. Then I'll move everything to their position. I'll make it a bit smaller. Then move these to the middle. And this one as well. And then the roundness, I'm going to change it from 10 to 5 maybe. Like this is good. Now select everything and right click, group them together. Now I'm going to remove this one and we have created these two. The next thing I'm going to do is to create the artboard and then we are going to put this inside our artboard. I'll go to the artboard tool and create an artboard for iPhone 12 Pro. And then the next thing we are going to create the background. So I'm going to use the rectangle and you are going to create a background. Oh, sorry, I selected the artboard. Let's create the background inside it like this and make sure that it covers the whole artboard. We are going to change the color, the fill color to this color. Okay, and then we are going to lock it, right click and lock. And now I'm going to bring the iPhone status bar for the signal and battery and Wi-Fi. You can get this, by the way, from the XD itself. If you go to the file and then get the UI kits, Apple iOS, it will take you to the Apple website where you can download everything, like all of the UI designs for Apple, which is this one. You can download it from here. And I've already talked with this in the previous lessons. Okay, now let's go back to our project. And we are going to start creating the texts. The first thing we're going to do is to create the browse text. Before I do that, I just want to adjust the position of the status bar. Make sure it's in the middle. Okay, it's not in the middle. Let's make sure it's in the middle. I will click on the name of the artboard, enable the layout so I can know what I'm doing. Something like this will be okay. Okay, now I'm going to disable the layout again. And then we are going to the text tool and I'm going to write browse. Then we are going to make it bigger. Move it over here. Even more big. Then you're going to change it to the medium or bold. Let's see what will work. Okay, so medium is working fine. The next thing we're going to do is to create the other text. I will just duplicate this and we are going to write Nike. And then we are going to bring down the size. Obviously, we need to select the text and then bring down the size like this. Okay, 21 is good. And then I'm going to duplicate this and make other text. This will be Adidas. And then another copy and it will be Puma. And then it will be Jordan. Okay, I will select all of them and I will make them a bit bigger. Like this. Yeah, it's good like this. And then I'm going to make sure that the space between them is the same. Select all of them and click on this one in the alignment tools. Now I'm going to select these texts, the browser, and with other smaller texts, and I will move them to the right side a bit. Then I'm going to align this one with everything else. Okay, now I'll duplicate this, and we are going to make the text in the left side. We're going to write new for this one, but let's rotate it like this, and we are going to write new. Move it over here, make a copy. We will write featured, and then another copy. I'll move this down, and then another copy. We are going to adjust the size later. Let's write the other text that we have. It will be coming soon. Okay, and move it over here. Now I'm going to select all of them. I will make sure that they are aligned vertically, and then the space between them is similar. Okay, then bring down the size. Make it 18 and change from medium to regular. And we are going to adjust it just like this. And now I'm going to bring this design element that we just created, the cards. As you can see, the background is a bit white. We need to click on the background and then change the color from white to black. Something like this. Now I want to align the text in the left with the card. So I'm going to move them closer to each other first. And we need to select all of them and bring down the size to make it even smaller. Make sure that space between them is the same. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is to increase the size of the card. As you can see, it's a bit smaller from the sample, so I'm going to make it a bit bigger. Something like this will be good. Next thing I'm going to do is to select the text for the brands. For the Adidas, Puma, and Jordan, we are going to bring down the opacity for them because they are not active. And now Nike is active. We need to make a red circle beside it. So it will be white and a red circle will be beside it. So for the circle, we are going to disable the border, and then we'll get the color from this one. Obviously, we need to make it a bit smaller. Okay, something like this is good. And now I will duplicate this circle and move it over here. So in this side, featured is active. So the circle will be beside it. And the new and coming soon, we will bring down the opacity for them. We'll make it maybe 30. Perfect. We are good like this. Now I will bring this one inside the artboard. And we are going to fit it to its place, which will be somewhere around here. And then you are going to create the background. We are going to use the pen tool. And I'm going to make a wavy thing. Wavy background. Something like this. And then I'll press on the escape and adjust these points. Oh, sorry. I will select this point and bring it down. If you don't select the point, you click on the line, you will create new point. So make sure that you click on the point itself. So I'm just trying to achieve something similar to the sample that we have. Okay, now I'll click on this point, go to the pen tool again, click on this point and close this. And then with the fill, I'm going to enable it, and we are going to get the color from here. And then you are going to send it back. I will press on the command and square bracket, the left one, to send it back. For this one, I'm going to make some changes. For the background, I'm going to decrease the blurriness, and we are going to play with the settings. Just follow me what I do and copy the settings. You can now pause the video and copy these settings. I think I've positioned these in the wrong place. We don't have place for the other elements, so I'm going to move them up. Just like this. And then we will move this up as well. And then you can stretch like this, or actually I'm going to undo, double click on the background and move the points down like this. Okay, perfect. So the next thing we are going to do is to create the quick search. For that we are going to use the rectangles. So I'm going to use the rectangle tool and we are going to create them outside of the artboard, and then when you finish them we will move them inside. So we are going to round the corners of the rectangle, disable the border, and then the color will be this black, and then I will go to the text, write sneakers. Okay, I'll move it over here, and then we will change it from regular to medium. Or actually we'll keep it as regular. Let's keep it like this. Now I will duplicate this one. We will change this one to running shoes. And then we are going to change the size of the background. Make sure that the text is in the middle. And then we are going to duplicate it again. And this one will be hiking. Let's make it smaller, the background, to fit the text. Okay, I'm going to change the color. For the text, I'll make the text black, and the background, we will make it white. For the hiking as well, we will do the same. We will make the background white and the text black. And then I'm going to select both of the text and the background, make another copy, press on the Alt and make a copy, move it over here. Then we will change the text to basketball and click on the background. Okay, make sure it fits the text, and you will do the same thing. You will duplicate and continue creating other texts. Let's make sure it fits and make sure that the text is in the middle. Then duplicate this and we are going to make the last one, which will be soccer. And then make it something like this. Okay. Perfect. Now I can select all of them and move it out, but first I want to make them closer to each other. I'll just adjust their position. Okay, let's keep it like this. Now I will select all of them, group them together, and move it inside the artboard. Obviously, we need to make it smaller. They are a bit big. I'm going to make it small like this. Okay, I just want to adjust the alignment of this text, make sure it's inside or in the middle of the bottom. Okay, let's keep it like this. The next thing we are going to do is to create the menu bar, the one that we have here. So what I'm going to do is to use the rectangle tool. We are going to make the base something like this, and then we're going to round the corners, and then we are going to get the color from here. We don't want the border, but we want the shadow. I'm going to play with these settings a bit. Let's increase this as well. Yeah, use these settings. Okay, I will make this a bit wider. Oh, sorry, something like this. And then the next thing, we are going to bring these icons, and these icons you know where to get. Like always, we are going to use this plugin, Icon for Design. Go to the plugin, use the Icon for Design, and search for any icon that you want. First, we are going to search for the home. We are going to get this one. We want our icon to be added here. That's why I select it on the menu background. Now I have the home icon here. What if you don't select anything? For example, I'm going to search for the heart. If I add this without selecting anything, it will go to a random place. For example, it will be here, so far away from where we want. I will select this one now, and we are going to select it. Now our heart is added beside the home. Let's search for other icons. Location, I will get this one maybe, or this one. Now let's go and find other icons. Make sure you select this one before you add any icon. Let's look for the cart. We will add a cart as well. We will use this one. And the last one will be profile. We are going to search for the profile. Oh, sorry, these are on top of each other. I just want to separate them. Okay, just like this. Now let's search for the profile. And when we search for the profile, I didn't see any good icons. That's why we are going to create our icon by ourselves. It's very easy. We are going to use two circles. One small circle like this, and then a bigger circle. We're going to duplicate this one and make it bigger from here. And then double click on it and remove this point. You need to remove it like this. And then I'm going to increase the size of the border for both of them. And then we are going to select both of them, disable the fill, and make the color for the border white, then group them together. And like this we created the profile icon. Now I'm going to select all of them and make the color for all of them white and move them to their position. This one will be here, and the size will be the same. You are not going to play with their size, but if for any reason the size is not correct for you, you can always play with it and change it. Let's move this as well over here. Make this one white as well. This one. For the profile, I'm going to change the size because it's not similar to others. So I'll make sure it's the same size as the other icons and move it over here. Now I'm going to select all of them, press on the shift and select all of them. And then we are going to use the alignment tool to make sure that the space between them is the same. Just like this. And now the last thing I'm going to do is to make a background for the selected menu. For example, now we will consider we have selected the home. I'm going to make a circle, make it round, and then we are going to change the color. Let's make it something purple or pink actually. So it's a reddish pink something, and then press on the command and square bracket on the left to move it behind the icon. And now adjust its size and position. Something like this. Okay, perfect. I think we are done with this lesson. We have created almost everything from the home screen. The last thing that I'm going to do is to set the guidelines, just like we have in the previous one, because we are going to use it for the prototype. So you know how to use the guides. You will grab them from the sides of the artboard, and we are going to bring our guides to the sides of this card. We want to set their size. This is the end of this lesson. In the next lesson, we are going to continue creating our home screen. I'll see you there.